get up to speed in 48 hours to how good these dishes are. But for me, what I'm taking home is another confirmation to how good these Hawker's food is and what it stands for. And I think even when I came 15 years ago, I fell in love with it then. So that was before I won 3 Michelin stars. I won 3 Michelin stars and come back, and they still kick my ass. I'm pleased with the chili crab. That for me was lovely. Looking at the percentages, 5% between the rows, especially the chicken rice. That's a hallmark. So I was excited. I was excited for the Hawks as well because the intensity of cooking is hard enough. Do it in front of somebody said there's 4,900 people here. It's insane, insane.
Which dish did you find
Good question. The most difficult dish, all three of them were difficult for me. Okay, I'm a Westerner. I was born in Scotland and I grew up with fish and chips and steak and pie. I lived and trained in France with some of the best chefs anywhere in the world. Over here is a completely different market because there's that level of humbleness. We have street food in England and there's hot dogs and burgers. We have the odd taco van, but we don't have street food quite as unique as this. So for me, the most difficult dish I think would be the laksa. The laksa. That was a tough one because there's so many variations. And the tofu, the coconut, the paste, the shrimp, and so I was struggling. I knew within the first 45 minutes that we were slightly running behind on that. And I changed the recipe, which may have been a bit of a dumb thing to do, but hey, 2-1, like I said, I'm over the moon.
What other Korean dishes have you heard about that you really want to try?
The porridge are unique. The rice dish is extraordinary. The fish dish for me has that kind of Indian influence from character and like spice flavour. So there's a repertoire untapped here that is a hidden gem. And these stalls people look about glamorous, but forget the stalls. Bring your ass to the table and enjoy the food because honestly, no disrespect, I've eaten some fine dining establishments since I've been here, and the food, there's not a patch on what these guys are serving. No tablecloths, no fancy wine cellars, not 25 waiters hovering over you, pouring water in 30 seconds. If you want the real food in Singapore, get yourself to a Hawker store. That's my message tonight. And it may have been a blessing in disguise. I've been put to the test. Someone mentioned earlier, this is about your brand. Nothing to do with my brand. This, for me, was about highlighting how good I've always thought Singapore and Hawker's food is. And I looked at what happened in Japan recently with the Michelin Guide and how many shopping malls were getting absolutely renowned. I'm fully booked for 3 months in advance. Well then there's a few guys globally who need to wake up and understand what's going on in the streets of Singapore. Tonight proved that. But I'm happy with chili crab. I've got a gold pair of chopsticks. If my mother saw me with a gold pair of chopsticks, she would give me a kick of the ass. What are you going to do with gold chopsticks?
What's your favourite Singaporean food so far?
My favourite Singaporean foods? Eating in the markets, okay? You see the aerated tanks, the fresh crabs, the lobsters, the shrimp, everything's fresh. Last time I saw that kind of uniqueness was when I was in Vietnam, when they were having fresh produce for lunch, fresh produce for dinner. They didn't have room for refrigeration at home. Here's exactly the same. So, that chili crab for me, I fell in love with that. Yes, it's messy. Not the perfect dinner for a date, okay? Because you've got to wear a bib and then you want to hold hands with your partner, then you want to try and kiss her and you've got a mouthful of ketchup, chili, ginger. Not attractive. However, if you're both eating it, then that's fine.
So where would you bring a date then?
Where would I bring my wife? I'd bring it here, to that lovely Hawker's Market, or Madam Food. Laksa, that for me was amazing. Chicken rice, mind-blowing. The attention to detail, the rock salt, the chicken fat inside that rice, the seasoning was extraordinary. So, do you know what? Even 40 minutes in to tonight's competition, I ran back here and I was tasting mine, sneaking a pot of hers, and look at the comparisons. And I knew then, okay, we had to up the game, but we're 5% down. Laksa, exactly the same. Taste, taste, taste. Crazy point. Next time, give me a little bit longer. I'm not making excuses because we've lost, okay? I'm going to take off the chin. Sometimes, chefs need to be knocked back in their box. I haven't been knocked back in my box. It's just another confirmation to how good I've always thought this food has to be.
So what do you think about the region for it? Sorry, you got them back to the...
I'm actively looking for a restaurant in Singapore. I cannot wait to open up there. And if you think that I'm going to bring some fancy, poncy French food to Singapore, there'll be a riot. I've learned a lot. I haven't stopped there.
But
like I said,
will you introduce our food to the UK?
I have a restaurant called May's in London, and it's a sort of Asian influence combined with the French sort of historicness. I've got about 4 ideas already working with chili crab. I'm flying in an hour's time. I land tomorrow morning at 7:30. I go to a sports day, and then I spend the rest of the week with my children. And then next Saturday I'm going to be in New York. Already, I've dreamt of 3 dishes in the last half hour. The only problem I've got is what in the hell do I do with those gold chopsticks? Does anyone want them?
Yeah. Give them to your wife to tie her hair.
To tie her hair? Yeah. That's a good idea.
Silly question. You called the Hawkers just now. What did you say to them when you found out that you won and when they won?
What did I say to them? Listen, you know, they were instrumental, okay, in giving away some of their secrets. Chefs are obsessed with other chefs beating them. But to see the generosity and the way they treated me inside their hawker stalls, and I'm the disruption. You know, I'm the one that is turning their little world upside down and being a pain in their arse. So for them to still be that gratifying and tell me how to cook their food, honestly, it's humbling. I mean, really humbling. Forget the corporate stuff, forget the sponsors. This was about them, and tonight showed. I mean, really. And here's how obsessed I am. So the chili crab we won by 5%. The laksa I got my ass kicked by 19%. And the chicken rice I got my ass kicked by 6%. So Team Singapore versus Team GR, we lost by 6%. That was like my old school report. Not bad, but could do better. Get back in your box. Thank you, everybody. Take care and God bless.
Hi, anyone wants the hawker interview?